Hey there, welcome back to God Science Coffee. My name's Robert,
And I'm Sean Paulson, the second guest on the show, and the producer,
and the producer. We'll be calling each other Brother Paulson, and I'm
Brother Grandison.
A long story, but another episode, possibly. So this is the producer to the show. It has been quite a journey to get here and make this episode for you. Little wild one, probably a little harder than it should have been.
Yeah,
A lot harder
it
than
was
it
like
should have been.
6 months of procrastination
Of pure procrastination, bro.
over something that took 30 minutes
Yeah.
to actually record.
But we did do one take before, but the audio did not record. And that was
That was another story. So I guess let's hop into the interview.
all right. Well, Brother Paulson, uh, things that have happened in the making. Okay, well, first I want to explain to them that you were. Oh no, you
In the background.
no, they'll just see out your talents. They'll just see. We're not going to explain it to them.
Okay.
So finding God. How has your journey, your path of finding God been?
Well, I guess I'll start with a bit of background. So part of the reason the show took so long to finally release the first episode for was because over the 6 months that we had planned production and tried to start up, I was kind of going through my own tribulations and struggling with issues of like addiction and making the wrong decisions, being around the wrong crowd. Um, so that kind of was an obstacle to us producing the series.
Very much so.
And
Very.
at the same time, I learned where to recognize blessings from God in my life, where before I didn't really have any like strong, faithful belief in God, and I had to learn to have faith in him because of the blessings that I was receiving and these these life-changing moments that I experience where I would make the wrong decision and be strongly suggested which way to go from there. How to... it was as if God was giving me a slap on the hand or a slap on the wrist every time I did these things, and the less, like, if I didn't pay attention to that slap on the wrist, it would turn into a knockdown drag out. And like basically I would reap more punishments from it if I didn't listen the first time. It's like I was repeating the same action and eventually it got so bad I was having like life-endangering situations that were a result of my own bad decision. And so I learned that that was God's way of speaking to me. He was trying to guide me in the right direction by giving me these chances. And the less I listened, the more harsh the penalty got. So now I'm trying to change the decisions that I'm making and get things back on track, which is why we were able to release the first episode yesterday.
Yes, which was crazy. Okay, I was excited whenever we dropped the intro video, but dropping that first one, even though it was just me, I don't know, made a statement. And now that having the ability to get the people that I'm gonna get on here and tell like these crazy stories and share their knowledge, um, explain to them how science,
Well,
your family's, yeah.
yeah, I came from two parents who were from the medical field. Dad was a pathologist and mom's a nurse. So I was raised by a well-educated family and brought up in medical and scientific knowledge. But they both had religious background, just they weren't extremely spiritual as I grew up.
Yeah, because you can kind of there's just like a modern day religion person like they say oh yeah and they just go to church every once in a while but they don't really it's like they're not really in it, you know what I mean? They don't bring forth the characteristics of a person who would have the Holy Spirit within them or the Ruach HaKodesh. That's the Hebrew name for it. Um, don't get his story and religious background. And also, you have a brother that works for Google. That's really
Yeah,
cool. That
yeah,
is
that's just
really
a nice
cool.
fact.
Yeah. And his they call him Thor, which is that would
Or
just be
Thorin is his actual name.
yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah, and that's a little bit um that's a story in itself that I'm not going to go too far into, but my parents were both converted to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, which is the Mormon church.
Yeah.
And that was because when my brother went to Google, he worked with a lot of Latter-day Saints. And my parents eventually got interest in the church after seeing my brother baptized, and so
Oh.
then they were baptized.
Huh.
Yeah. So as they, like over the last 3 or 4 years, they've gotten a little more spiritual.
Sorry, don't kitty picture outside.
I had to take a picture of a kitty real quick.
Yeah.
Had to. Kitty cat.
So, yeah, back
Okay.
to this. Hmm. Um, um, explain, explain the darkness of the world, which I'll kind of help you with that a little bit.
Okay.
I'll let you kind of start, but I'll jump off whenever you need. All right, we got him in there. Keep going, keep going.
Okay. So the darkness of the world. That's the like brightest thing that's happened all day happens as the cat just walks onto the screen. Okay, so to explain the darkness of the world, um, you have to first like look at like biblical tales that often describe the dark, and you have to look at the multiple different interpretations of those because bad things happen all throughout the Bible, and they're not looked at so much or not used as examples so much of something bad or something completely, destructive. They're a part of God's design for the world because if God really is omnipotent and omniscient, then he wouldn't create something out of perfection, or not out of perfection, but he wouldn't create something to oppose perfection. He created the dark so that as you go through hard times, you can look at the good and see the contrast between the two. You can experience joy, but if you weren't able to experience pain, then you wouldn't know, like, love. You wouldn't be able to see a difference and see a contrast that gives you incentive to do good. Okay, so
Hmm.
that's all I have for
That was
explaining the
really
darkness.
good. That was good. That was good. All right, I'll give it a try. Um, the darkness of the world. I believe it's more or less an underlining shadow. It's there, like true darkness, true evil is there, but it goes unrecognized. Um, but I believe it does control most of the world, a good proportion of it, even if you don't know that you're being controlled by it, by darkness, you're being led by darkness, because that path can stray. If you're mindless, you can follow that path and you'll never know what you're
Yeah,
really getting yourself into.
unknowingly doing evil.
Yeah, Mhm.
All right, so what's the next question on the interview?
Explain what the people and the thing. Okay, we already kind of did that. Explain what people I want for the show. What I want the people. What I
What do
want.
you want the people to get from the show?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, things I want for the show. Things I want for the show. Um, Ultimately, the thing I want the most for the show is to be able to travel, to get to meet people, because I'm going to go like distant places and stuff. I'll find some people, because you can't stay within a box and find an ultimate a meaning, you know?
I know when you first started talking about making the show, you said you wanted to get insight from other people, from like see other people's point of view.
Oh yeah, and get their knowledge and their wisdom, and just how they think. I love people, love how we work. And it's like getting a free education every time we talk to somebody, which is really cool because I think that the power of conversation is extremely underestimated nowadays. Because you have,
It's very valuable. Conversation is. You're
yeah,
right.
and I will say like a FaceTime or a call or something. I mean, it feels okay, but something about actually talk,
Face-to-face conversation.
yeah,
Like, yeah, first,
extremely powerful.
yeah.
Because two humans can withdraw so much information from the other one's brain, and all goes out to this crazy universe we're in.
And it's all connected in a way.
Yeah,
Like, everybody's knowledge ends up on the internet at some point as well.
yeah, at some point. And it's
Whether they wanted it to or not, it's gonna get leaked or whatever. Like, the internet, like, has globalized the world so much and allowed us to gain knowledge from so many different sources, like, effortlessly.
Hmm.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and it's really ridiculous. I think it's too much information. You can get too much information from too many things.
Yeah, too many sources.
Yeah, and it's almost like it fries your brain.
It's like everybody's input could or could not be true at some point.
Yeah, you're taking in every person from the world's perspective or something or opinion at one time, and it's just it can be so overwhelming.
That's true. All right, well, should we wrap this up? We're
No,
going on,
oh, trust me, we're going on.
I don't know what time. 13 minutes. Yeah, we're at 13.
Okay. The music industry. I think that one's going to be fun. This one should.
The music industry and
Alright. Yeah.
the evil that is within it.
Yeah, let's go. You want to do this, bro?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, let's go.
Okay, so,
You go first, and I'll go.
all right, so
I'll
in the music industry, you see so much symbolism and so much what you would call vanity. Vanity is like being vain, being materialistic, appreciating things that are like shallow, not spiritual, not wholesome. And like temporary pleasures, the things that everybody in society chases basically. And that includes money, sex, drugs, like illegitimate.
the image of being rich.
Yeah, the
Sells
image of
the
being rich.
image of being rich and happy. It,
Or it was
it's
documented somewhere, I can't remember where, but it was documented as affluenza in America, where basically Americans just chase this certain lifestyle, this certain like greedy materialistic life, and they just want more. They want things that make them look rich, look that make them look like they're in the top or upper classes.
Yeah, and it's crazy because it'll be the people that don't look rich that actually have money. At least, or they do, or there's just some people that are just overly successful and they, you know, what I mean, they look rich. Like it's not their fault they look rich.
Yeah,
It's that type of stuff.
it's kind of like being born into a classist society where whoever you're born under typically determines your class later in life or gives you an advantage or disadvantage. That's why there's certain neighborhoods that are called privileged neighborhoods or um like, in the suburbs, the
Yeah,
rich white suburbs.
yeah. Oh yeah, back to music industry. Yeah, back to well, see, music is founded on, well, the music industry is founded on demonic and satanic worship anyways. Um yeah, it goes back, selling your soul for the art of music goes back to uh an artist named Robert Johnson. I can't exactly pinpoint the date of time he was alive. I think it was two to about 100 to 200 years ago. But he sold his soul to the devil at the crossroads. He was a blues player, and honestly, a lot of
Oh, what was it? The, I'm trying to think of the name of the song that. Sorry to interrupt. Keep going where you
okay.
are.
And so then another little fact about music is that you have to understand that the devil, well, mm, he, well, whatever you want to call him, was the leader of the orchestra in heaven, which that's a really cool fact. I'm just saying that's really cool. If you're the leader of the orchestra in heaven, that's for you. Um, I don't.
That
Uh,
is pretty cool.
so down here, if you realize the artists that you listen to, the rap game's probably been the same. Well, the rap game has kind of always been the same, but they rap about the same things. Like we've been listening to
They
them
have the
rap
same
about,
values,
yeah, they rap about the same morals, values.
and there's so much
Honestly,
like
yeah,
normalization of illicit behavior or like
yeah, and it's
sinful behavior.
yes,
Like that happens in rock as well. Like you see
yeah.
them like championing like
They used to mostly do it with rock, but then do you remember like in an era between the 2000 and 2010 where
rock
rap,
was like
yeah, rock was the main music everybody listened to, and then it switched to rap at some point. You know what I mean?
yeah, rap became the new norm for everybody.
Yeah,
It kind of took place or overtook all other genre of music. And the more predominant it got and the more popularity rap and hip hop gained, the more it started to try to influence the young to take up these like lack of morals, these certain values that become destructive over
yeah,
time.
that you have to be beautiful, rich, and successful to be happy or to be
You
whatever.
can't be nice.
Yeah.
You
Can't
gotta
be nice
step
to
on
people.
everybody, basically, or commit crimes.
Yeah, you must commit crimes if you're
You
not
got to. You
yeah,
gotta be a criminal to be.
in the rap game.
Yeah.
The
Or to have any success in the rap game, that is.
and Rock honestly is more open about being Satanistic because you know what I mean, it's rock and roll.
Yeah,
It's,
true.
that's what makes rock and roll so awesome is the Satanism. Now, okay, I myself, there is no way I can sit here and listen to Christian music. I'm sorry. Okay,
That's just not.
Some Christian music I can, but like, okay, I'll sing with you at church. I'll do all of that, but in my free time.
But we're not listening to the fish on a daily basis,
Yeah,
really.
not cranking it to the fish and just.
Praise the
I'll
Lord.
do it, but I'm
We're-
gonna do it in a
I
different
mean,
form of fashion, you know.
yeah, we have our own form of spirituality rather than
Well,
like the
the typical
typical religious practice.
which
Yeah.
is mostly which we're going to get called Christians if you go, no matter how you want to look at it, but the Christians are going to be like, oh, some of their morals. Well, I mostly am Christian. Like, we're going 100% off the Christian beliefs, not going to lie. It's just whenever I get the right guest, I can have a more in detail,
Religious discussion.
yeah, about that religion specifically, because I want to have somebody here who knows the the topic that we're talking about. And with the rap game, they have to be more secretive with the symbolism and what they're doing. I mean, for guys, they want all dudes to be drug dealers, killers. You gotta have, you gotta have a lot of women. You gotta have multiple women, and also
Yeah.
don't forget the bag. You gotta get a bag.
You gotta get a bag.
You gotta get a
get the
bag.
bag.
Yeah, you gotta get a bag.
Not a bag, the bag.
Yeah,
It has
the
to
bag.
be the bag. You
Yeah.
gotta get the bag.
The bag. Yeah. And let's see, for women, they want all women to be strippers,
Or like hypersexualized, like
super overly independent. I must say, because there's nothing wrong with getting into a relationship. It
yeah.
really is. No,
Oh,
they're getting it. Please, I don't know what that is. Um,
like they paint this picture of
yeah,
women, this ideal for them to be
and
basically like put
yeah, put
in
your
a submissive position in society.
yeah, and they use if you use sex to purely
Now you
endure your lifestyle and your friends and stuff, that's so superficial. Like if people are only with you because you look good or whatever, then people are not the right
it,
individuals. I mean,
yeah.
I understand with some people, I understand, but that's not how you should. That's not the main thing you should be looking off your friends list for.
No,
Who thinks I look good? No.
because they can think you look good and still like do you dirty.
Oh,
So
yeah. Envy is.
yeah, envy is rough.
Uh, mm, and it's honestly crazy because uh, the rap game honestly shows a lot of the. It's like the rap game and the Simpsons predict more of the future than anything. Like if you're looking for like a magic ball of wisdom or something,
I
look
mean,
in
the
the
rap
rap.
game predicted Kodak, or COVID. I think Kodak predicted COVID.
Hmm. Wait, they. Uh,
I think we're close to.
yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, I guess. I guess. All right, I'll ask you one more question, and then we're done.
Okay, okay.
What is love to
Baby,
you?
don't hurt me
No.
no more. What is love? Okay, I'm done. I'm done. Okay. What is love?
What is love? Trust me, I'm gonna ask everybody that.
Yeah, at the end of the interview, and then they're just like, everybody talks. No, I don't really know like a clear-cut definition for love. I think love and altruism
now.
have something like in common. It's a genuine concern, or not concern, but genuine consideration for somebody else. It's like it's not a feeling. I wouldn't call love a feeling. I would call it a static, possibly a static, um, pattern of behavior towards one individual. It's like love isn't portrayed by a feeling, it's portrayed by how you treat somebody. And if you treat that person the same way consistently, like with no conditions, like unconditional treatment of that person, like unconditional kindness towards one person over most. Then again, you can have love for everybody. Some people genuinely do. it's like they're caring for that person even if the person has hurt them in some way, or that that's all I can say is love is a pattern of behavior, really. It's it's not a feeling. There's yeah, love really is not a feeling. That's what I'm saying. Love isn't a feeling.
What?
A feeling can tell you
I don't know.
a feeling can tell you to treat somebody a certain way, but that feeling, like that emotion isn't real love.
Yeah, but you had that emotion before you had the
Only
pattern.
true love
You had
is
that emotion before you had the pattern.
no, you didn't.
Yes, you did. The emotion was before before the reaction.
No.
Yes. Yes.
The feeling comes from the way that person behaves towards you. It's a reaction to their behavior, not your own.
I think you can love somebody that doesn't like you.
Yeah, you can.
That's
You can love
just
somebody who doesn't like you,
well,
but you can feel very negatively strongly, like very strongly negatively towards that person and still love them. Like you can be like so irate with them, so irritated, so like outright mad at them, but you eventually or inevitably decide how you react to that feeling. If you react to that feeling contrary to what you would towards other people, then that's love. That's what I'm saying is it's love is shown or measured by the behavior towards that person, not by the feeling you have towards that person. Because real love is when you're so mad at somebody, but you still make dinner for them without poisoning it.
that's real. Okay, makes sense. Yeah, dude. Uh, okay. What about tough love?
Tough love.
Yeah.
That's the thing as well. Like again, portrayed by the behavior of not enabling a person who is destroying themselves with what you enable them with, essentially. Like if you stop enabling them, going to take it as they're typically not going to take it softly. They're going to get upset because you're not providing for them or you're not giving them this thing that's destroying them or that they're using to destroy themselves whenever you're providing it. So like again, it's a pattern of behavior. That's what tough love would be too. Because an emotion doesn't tell you to. It takes logic to have love as well, is what it seems like. The smarter mammals, like whales and whales and chimpanzees, are the only ones who have anything close to a human aspect of love. Like our human understanding of love is also seen in the smartest or highest IQ mammals. And that's the further you get away from going on emotion and feeling, on instinct as well, the closer you get to logic or scientific understanding or just critical thought. And critical thinking kind of coincides with love because the more you love somebody, the more considerate you're going to be of certain things, the more calculated you're going to be about how you treat that individual. Okay, so that was an over explanation, but oh,
Yeah. Huh. I think I think the love is everlasting. I think it never stops. If you love someone or something, love is you never truly lose that feeling or like how you felt about that person, especially in the moment when you know what I mean, you max loved them. You know what I mean, you
you
love them
maxed it
to
out.
yeah, uh, or that thing or whatever. I think you can love somebody but never see them again.
Yeah,
I think
you can.
I think you can do somebody dirty
And still love them.
and still love them to let it go.
Yeah. You can. You're right. But
You shouldn't do it because you'll.
there's guilt or remorse, but not everybody has remorse.
Not everyone has
Robert.
remorse.
Like sociopaths.
Like sociopaths.
Okay.
You're welcome for the boots, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for the boots.
They are clean.
Okay. Let's finish this.
Alright.
Say a prayer. Okay. Wacky, wavy, inflatable arm tube man.
Nope. Episode number 2 with Sean Paulson.
Brother Paulson.
Brother
And
Paulson.
Brother Grandison.
At your service.
Yep.
Nice to see y'all.